And we're live. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Deconversion Stories. Today, I'm talking with my friend Adrianna, who happens to be also known as Insects Are Cool on Twitter because she's an entomologist. So basically, you know what I do here. I talk to people about their deconversion stories and stuff. But I do have a quick question before we get into that. Why did you decide to get into bugs? I know you've told me the story before, but some others may not know this story. So
actually made a video about that. It's a funny story. I went to college originally as a computer science major, and I took one computer science class, and I really hated the class. The class literally made me cry.
What made you cry? Wait. What do you mean it made you cry?
Because it was hard. It made me feel really stressed out. So yes, it literally made me cry. Okay.
All right.
So after that, I tried to figure out a new major. I have a sister who was also going to college. She was going as the English major.
Mm-hmm.
And some people, like including her teachers, were being really negative to her, saying that she wasn't going to get a job or anything and stuff like that. And because of that, she was trying to find a new major too. She took a class called Insects and Society. And because of that, she was trying to. I hear myself.
Yeah, that was my phone. Sorry, I didn't turn the volume down.
Okay. Anyway, she took a class called Insects and Society. So when she took that class, she started thinking about being an entomologist too. And then after a while, she changed her mind. She decided she didn't like bugs really, and then she went back. She went back to English.
She didn't like the bugs, eh?
Yeah, she decided she didn't like bugs. Yeah, but anyway, because of that, I ended up replacing her as an entomologist. She actually got me interested in entomology.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess you stuck with it ever since then. Eh?
Yep.
Obviously. Now you're a knowledgeable bug person now.
Mm-hmm. Bugs.
All right. So with that out of the way, which is cool. Mm-hmm. Thanks for telling us that a little bit. Take us back to you. I believe we talked about this a little bit once before, but you were once a believer at some point.
Yeah.
So
actually, I have like a deconversion story part 1 and part 2. I've actually deconverted twice.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay, well, let's go to the first one. And
yeah,
I'm going to mute myself for a second so I can blow my nose and not scare the hell out of everybody. What the hell is that? A typhoon? Hang on. Go ahead.
Okay, so the first part, I guess I'll start with my family. So my mom's side of the family wasn't very religious. I think my mom considers herself like an agnostic.
Okay.
And then my dad's side of the family, they're more religious. My dad's a Christian, although he's like a laid back Christian. Like he still believes in evolution and gay marriage and stuff like that.
Oh, so he's like a liberal-ish Christian, we'll say.
Yeah, he's good.
Wait, when you say he believes in evolution, is he one of those people that believes that he believes in evolution, but he thinks that God had a hand in it, kind of thing?
Yeah, I think he thinks God has a hand in it.
Okay, well, he probably does if he's religious.
Yeah.
All right, carry on.
Yeah. Although the rest of my dad's side of the family, I think they're okay with evolution, but the gay marriage and they're not okay with gay marriage. The rest of my dad's side of the family, and they also tend to be like racist, also, unfortunately. Yeah. So the rest of my dad's side family is like batshit crazy.
Wow, that's kind of shitty. I mean, it just blows me away that people can still be racist today when we know as much as we know about the human genome and how we are literally all pretty much identical to within like a minor percentage of our DNA differences, which are all merely external anyways. So, yeah. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So that's my family. Oh, and also I live in Oklahoma. I've lived here all my life. So I live in the Bible Belt. Uh,
Hmm.
so like growing up, since like everybody else I knew was the Christian. Well, I said my mom was agnostic, but I didn't realize she was agnostic until later on in life. But anyway, so I thought like everybody was a Christian and stuff. So I thought like God was like a perfect fact, like gravity. I thought it was just like a perfect fact that everybody just knew, and you know, you see what I'm saying? So, but then I already mentioned I have a sister.
Mhm.
Uh, so it's I didn't even know like atheism was even a thing. I guess.
Oh
If,
wow.
if I didn't know it was a thing, I probably would like hate them already. I probably just thought they were weird. I don't know. Now I'm an atheist. Okay. But anyway, it was until I was 17 years old that my sister I just happened to overhear her mention that she was an atheist and she didn't believe in God.
Mhm.
And then and this is like the first time I ever heard someone say that about atheists. And I guess that
And it was your sister.
yeah, that's my sister. And I didn't yell at her like you're going to hell or whatever. And I was just like, oh wow.
And her
And
particular hell is going to be a whole bunch of bugs crawling all over her. She failed.
probably. I don't know why she decided to be an entomologist. She'd be really bad entomologist.
Somebody else get that rose for me.
Okay. Anyway. So I guess I maybe start thinking about stuff. And so after that, I started like googling a bunch of stuff like online and stuff like proof of God, the proof that God doesn't exist, stuff like that, just random stuff.
Mhm.
One of the things I looked up was like stuff like IQ of like atheists and Christians and so on. And then I also looked at a couple of YouTube channels, atheistic YouTube channels. I looked at mostly at Dark Matter 2525,
Mhm. Mhm.
and then Cult of Destiny.
Mhm.
hmm Um, okay, uh, and then and also I haven't read the Bible at all at this point either. I
So
just,
you've never read it?
no, I read the Bible, but now, but just, I haven't read the Bible at the time.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I didn't read the Bible until the second part of my conversion story.
Okay.
Okay, so anyway, it wasn't since I've never read the Bible or anything. It really wasn't that hard for me to deconvert, and I haven't looked at any apologetic stuff, like I said, and so it was really easy for me to deconvert. And I think also the biggest argument against God is suffering. I think, in my view,
Yeah. Well, it's one of them for sure.
yeah, I think that's the biggest one for me.
Well,
Uh,
I think the biggest one for me is the obvious lack of answering prayers, especially
okay,
when you've got so many
oh yeah,
children that are being raped by priests and other
yeah. Well,
clergy.
I consider
And
that suffering.
well, whatever. But I mean, they obviously prayed for God to
Well,
intervene in
true.
it,
Yeah,
right? And He never
yeah.
did because thousands of them have come out about it. So.
Yeah. Okay, so like at this point, I was like, okay, so I will convert to Christianity if I find evidence of God, or I would see some sign of God, like my name in the sky or something. Okay, so that second point,
Adrianna, I'm real.
yeah,
Spelt out in clouds. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. But actually, that second point actually brings me to the second part of my conversion story. Actually, so
Okay.
that'll be history. Okay, so the second part of my conversion story starts at 2017, I think. When I was going to college.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't want to mention too much of my personal life, but I think it's probably might
That's
be a
fine.
little important for my conversion story. I started dating a Christian uh, at 2017 in like August, I think. Uh, then like a month later after I started dating him, I met this bunch of Christians on my campus. I don't know. I made some Christian friends. I might mention in passing before to you guys. I mentioned like Tara. But anyway, I don't know how to like describe this Christian group because they don't have like a name. They're not. I can't say they're like Mormons or Amish or whatever. I would say this Christian group I met. I think they're really similar to the Amish, but they're not Amish, but they're like similar to Amish. They'll still use cell phones and they'll
like
use
Mennonite type, maybe.
I don't know much about the Mennonites.
They're similar, but they accept
Yeah.
technology.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this group that I talked to, they will use cell phones and cars, and I think that's mostly the main types of technology they use. They won't use like a computer or something like that.
Mm.
And also in this group, they also wear the women will wear dresses also. Okay, but anyway, so specifically, two people I met was Jerry and Tara. And also about this group, again, I don't have a name. I wish I could just say the name. They don't have a name. Anyway, they're like nomadic. They call themselves like semi-nomadic because they'll actually travel. They'll travel around the country, going to campuses and stuff, and basically preaching God and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
So they don't have homes, or what do you mean? They have homes, but they travel most of the time.
They have homes like they call them like group homes, I think, where like they might have like 8 people living in one house.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so at first I didn't pay too much to this group. So Jerry was the first person I talked to in this group. So when he goes to these campuses, he always has some kind of sign with some kind of like question or something. It might say something like is anything moral or something? Is anything right or wrong and stuff like that. Yeah. At first I just ignored him. I didn't really care that much. I just ignored him. But then one day while I was walking by his like sign, he had the question. He had the question: is atheism rational? And that kind of got my attention.
Yeah, I guess.
So I started talking to Jerry, and he was actually really friendly. So I still liked him, even though he was Christian. I still like talking to him.
You're allowed to like them, even if they're Christians.
Yeah.
Remember, it's the people that we tend to like, and not so much the beliefs.
Yeah.
Right? So.
Yeah, I still like talking to him. And then eventually I started talking to Chara, a girl who's also in the group, and she's really nice. The first time I saw Tara, she just randomly came up to me and just hugged me, like just randomly out of nowhere. Before I even knew her, she just hugged me.
Let me clear something up here. Doorknob Head was kind of asking something here. No, she said, is atheism rational, not atheist sin? Because I guess he didn't quite hear it correctly.
Oh, sorry. I said the question was, is atheism rational? Sorry, I didn't make that clear.
Is atheist sin rational?
Wait, no, is
atheism.
Yeah. Atheism.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Sorry.
That was what the sign was. Yeah. Anyways, that's okay. Just so we get that cleared up. Yes. Okay. There you go. Okay.
Okay. So I became friends with Tara, and she knew. Of course, eventually I told her that I was an entomology major and like bugs and stuff. Actually, I'm gonna mention something interesting. So you know the back end over here, I have a bunch of insects and plant stuff related stuff. You know.
Yes, your portable insect torture chamber. Yes.
Okay. I don't think you guys ever noticed, but I had this random envelope right here.
Uh-oh, what's in that?
It's not a place. This is a gift from that Tara made me. Tara actually made me this. Look at it.
Oh. Hang on, let's present it first here.
Tara made me this.
Okay. Therefore, if any man be in Christ,
Yeah,
he
she's got a
is a
Bible
new
verse right there.
creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. Are become new. How is that even English?
Here, let me read it. Therefore, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. All things are passed away. Behold, all things are become anew. I just really like it because it's really pretty. It's really pretty,
Well,
I think.
sure. She obviously put some thought into it and work into it, so that we can appreciate. The scripture itself,
Yeah.
kind of whatever.
Yeah.
But thanks, Tara. We know the intentions are well, nice-ish, except for the proselytizing bullshit. But hey,
But without the Bible verse, it'd be really nice to put it right here, but it just it had the Bible verse over there. But oh well.
you could just jiffy marker it out. She
I
might
don't
get
want to do
upset
that.
if she ever saw that.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
I really like it. Oh, she also had some writing on the inside. Just says so like she's glad she met me and stuff.
Mhm.
I'm gonna put it right there. So now you guys know what's in the envelope. Whenever you see my videos, you see the envelope. You know what's in there.
Yeah, I have seen it before, and to be honest, I actually meant to ask you that one time and it just slipped my mind. But I'm just thankful it's not like anthrax and somebody tried to take you out.
Yeah. Okay. So eventually they left Oklahoma again. Like I said, they're nomads. So she left Oklahoma and she went to New York, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I still had her phone number, and I kept in touch with her through phone and stuff.
Do you still keep in touch with her?
Uh, I haven't been really good friend lately. Us, cause I just like I mentioned this later, but I just recently like they converted back to atheism, and I guess I just been a little afraid to talk to him again.
Oh, I see. A fear
Yeah,
of what they might say or think or
yeah.
something.
I'll try to get back in touch with him eventually, though.
That'd be a good idea. I mean, I don't think you can have anything to really fear.
They're nice.
Yeah. Just tell them that we'll just have to leave that stuff out of conversations if you want
I'm still
to
okay with talking.
maintain.
I'm still okay with talking about religion. I'm still okay with
Sure,
it.
sure, but as long as they're not trying to proselytize to you, that's kind of where I draw the line when I talk to people like that, if they're friends with me.
And that's what I mean by proselytizing. Like, once they recommend me a book or something, I'm okay with that.
Well, no, I mean, they're not trying to bring you back into the flock, so to speak.
I'm not sure.
More. Of course, you've got arguments to shut them down anyway, so
Yeah.
that's okay.
Okay. So, and anyway, she went back to New York, and we still kept in touch. And one day I mentioned to her how in November of that year that I was gonna go to there's actually a thing called the Entomological Society of America.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys ever heard of it.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Okay. So there was going to be an Entomological Society of America meeting in the November. That was going to be in Denver, Colorado. That I went to.
Mm-hmm.
I went there through my college. They pay for my plane tickets and everything, so that was cool. Yeah, and Colorado. It was fun. Okay. So anyway,
See, I've never been to New York.
I haven't been to New York either. Yeah, I went to Colorado. It was like the Entomological Society of America meeting was in Colorado.
Oh, I thought. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was still on the New York thing. Sorry about that.
She was in New York at the time when I told her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
That's where I
anyway,
got confused.
yeah.
But
Sorry.
it's easy to confuse me.
Okay. Anyway, so I was talking to Tara, and she told me that she just happened to be also going to Denver to also be in Denver at the same time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Coincidence.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I forgot to mention something. So back when she was when Tara and Jerry were in Oklahoma, they actually invited me to go to have dinner with them.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, I didn't want to I didn't want to be forced to like pray or something, or like read the Bible or something. So at first I kind of lied and said that I was busy with school and I didn't want to.
You better hope they never see this. And now they're
Yeah.
gonna know.
They don't use the internet, so they'll never know. They don't use the internet. Okay. Anyway, so she said she was gonna meet in Colorado, and I said that's cool. We can meet up there. So when I got to Colorado, I actually did that was the first time I actually did. I did have dinner with them and stuff. And then see, I spent like 2 days with them, I guess. With them, the first day I think I just had lunch with them.
Did they
Maybe
make you
just
pray before eating?
they did actually.
Oh, jeez.
I just sat quietly.
Good. Rub dub dub. Thanks for the grub. There you go.
Yeah. The first day they made some kind of drawing of. I think I still have the drawing. She made a drawing, but I don't have any. Well, I have it right here. I have it somewhere, but it's just don't know where it is. Amy, she made we just made drawings and stuff the first day. I hanged out with them.
That's cool.
And then like the next day, I went over to their house again, and hanged out again. That day they like sang music and stuff.
Wait, they made you sick?
Oh, sorry. No, they sing music.
Oh, I thought you said they made you sick.
Sorry.
What they do?
Sorry.
That's okay. It's just my misunderstanding.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, so they sing music and stuff, and
I like music.
yeah. I also they also had some interesting like Bibles and stuff. Like they actually had a Bible like in Hebrew and Greek. That was really cool. Yeah. I have they gave me a Hebrew Bible. I don't know where it is now.
Yeah,
I do have a Hebrew Bible that they gave me. Don't know where it is. I need to clean my room. Yeah, everything right here is clean, but to be honest, the rest of my room is dirty.
Yeah, just don't pan the camera to the left or to the right, or it's all over.
Yes. Okay,
I mean, you are in Oklahoma, so it's going to look like a tornado went through there. Right?
Yeah. I do have an interesting tornado story too. Actually, for another time. Okay, anyways.
Well, obviously, you survived it, whatever it was.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, I guess they made they made me really interested in the Bible. I guess they seem like really smart and stuff. I guess. And I actually went up to Tara and I actually asked her for a Bible. I actually asked her for a Bible. Yeah. And actually, it's right here. This is the Bible she gave me. This is my first Bible.
Looks well read.
Yeah, it's really impressive though. So you can read it.
Hang on. I'll present you.
Can you read it?
To Adrianna from your friends.
Yep.
But they didn't put their names, just your friends.
Tara.
Tell them friends don't drag friends into bullshit religions.
Okay, so anyway, they gave me that Bible. Okay, so that was in November 2017, and that was the start of me actually starting to read the Bible. And then I also start reading.
What made you want to read it? Just because you saw how much they knew about it, and you wanted to sort of be on equal footing with them, or what?
I don't know how to explain why I got interested in it. I guess it just seems like how maybe passionate they were about it. I don't know.
Which kind of maybe made you think maybe I should give this a read, or?
Yeah, I also really like languages too. So that's like I said, they have Hebrew, but they have Hebrew and Greek. Actually, my Greek Bible is right there. Actually.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the oldest language that we have a Bible in, isn't it? Is the Greek? It's like the oldest one still.
I think actually Hebrew is older. I think Hebrew is older.
Well, if you're talking about the Old Testament, yeah. I meant
Yeah.
the New Testament.
Yeah, the New Testament.
The oldest version was Greek, I thought.
Yeah, but the New Testament it's Greek. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, so I think it was also that they seemed really knowledgeable about that stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't necessarily mean that they're right.
No, of course not. But I agree with you eventually, I mean, I've read pretty much not all of the Quran, but a little bit. I've read the Old Testament, New Testament. I've read I read a book called the Urantia book, which is hilarious. But anyway, just to have a little bit of knowledge about it in case I don't ask me to recall anything right now. I'd have to actually flip through it again just to find what I'm referring to. Yeah. But I know the areas to go to do that if I ever have to counter argue somebody about something. Mm-hmm. So, okay. Terry's joined us. Hi, Terry.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Terry. Okay. Okay. So back to what I mentioned earlier about how I said that I would become a Christian if I had some sign of God.
Mm-hmm.
So I said that I want back in Oklahoma that I was like I didn't want to talk to them about the Bible and stuff, so I actually said no to them when they asked for dinner, remember?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But when she was actually in Colorado, that's when I just said yes. She just happened to be in Colorado when I was.
Curious.
It's like it was like a sign of God.
Oh. Or you just interpreted it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, which happens.
Yeah. So that was like the first check mark. The second check mark was evidence of God.
Which was?
Okay, so this started me. So after that, I basically became an agnostic for about a year. I did a whole year of research and stuff. I got this book, Creation's Tiny Mystery. I have Signature in a Cell. I have Seeking Allah, Finding Jesus, and I have a bunch more books. What are books? Oh, this one's new. I got Debating Darwin's Doubts. I got a bunch of creation books.
Wow. Went hardcore for a bit, didn't you?
The Case for Christ.
Yeah, Lee Strobel. Yeah, I'm familiar with that one.
Yeah.
I actually had a copy of it, and I gave it to somebody, and they moved away to the Vancouver Island, so I never got it back. So.
Yeah. So anyway, for a whole year, I did a bunch of research. So I read The Case for Christ and stuff. I read Creation's Time Mystery. So here's something I think is funny. Creation's Time Mystery. This is like something for like geologists and physicists and stuff. I'm not good at either one of those. So this doesn't do anything for me. I can understand it.
I'll tell you what, put it in a package and send it to Steve, our geologist.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, send it to him.
Yeah, but
he probably got a kick out of that.
Yeah. So what's funny about that? Is like I couldn't understand very well since I don't know geology very well. I wish I did. I don't know geology very well. But I was a double major for entomology and plant biology, so I'm more like biological stuff. So I was more interested in this book, Signature in a Cell by Stephen C. Meyer.
I've heard of the book. I didn't know who it was that wrote it, but yeah, I've heard someone mention that book before in passing in other conversations I've been in. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, of course, if they're going in there to look for that, they're going to find what they believe it to be. So,
yeah.
Right, there's no real backing to that shit anyway. So.
Yeah. I was particularly interested in the chapter you had on the RNA world hypothesis. Do you know what that is? Yeah.
RNA. The RNA which?
RNA world hypothesis.
Oh, right. You mean if RNA
everything came from RNA basically.
Right. Well.
Or right, RNA first hypothesis also.
Well, RNA was first.
Well, there's But there's also other theories. There's like protein first hypothesis and stuff.
Well, sure, but the chain molecules, I believe RNA became first, then it became self-replicating, and then DNA was sort of spawned out of that shit. So I don't know the exact process. Don't ask me to go into detail, but sure, you had proteins and other chemicals that, of course, bonded, and RNA was born, and it became self-replicating. That's all abiogenesis shit, I believe.
Yeah, it's basically abiogenesis, RNA world hypothesis. So anyway, I don't think we've actually solved RNA world hypothesis. We haven't solved any we haven't solved abiogenesis, right? I think.
No, we got a good idea.
Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, so when I'm reading about the RNA world hypothesis, and again, so this is biology, and I'm really good at biology, so this was a lot more easier for me to understand than the geology books I was reading. He makes 5 different arguments against the RNA world hypothesis. I was particularly interested in the first one. Basically, the argument is that the 4 base pairs, what are they called? Base pairs. The 4 molecules of RNA and DNA, like cytosine, guanine, adenine, thymine.
Thymine, yeah.
Or uracil. Anyway, so the argument is that because they have like really different half-lives and stuff, that they have really different half-lives, and they were also really short, and so it's really hard to create RNA. Basically, it's really easy to. It's hard to make DNA, but it's easy to destroy it. Is basically the argument. So yeah, that's one thing that made me want to believe in the Bible. There's I'll mention one more. Okay, this is my new Bible, since the other one's all ripped up now. So in the New Testament, with Jesus and stuff, you know, there's like contradictions in the Bible and stuff.
The contradictions within the Bible?
Yeah, you know, there's some.
There's lots.
Yeah.
There's many.
Yeah. So, like one of the contradictions I looked at was about Jesus's color of his robe, because one gospel will say that he had a red robe, and then another gospel will say he had a purple robe.
That could be due to color blindness. I'll even give him that.
Yeah, I will give them that too. But you know that picture with the dress, like what color is his dress? Is it blue or gold, or you know?
Yeah.
Or it was white, gold, and blue or black. I saw white gold. It's white gold, people. It's white gold.
Yes, which can look blue and shimmering, sort of light type thing. Yes.
Okay. Anyway.
Red robe. That was Jesus's Hindu phase. Yeah. That's right. And what the hell is this?
Okay.
Someone's telling me I shouldn't swear.
Oh.
What are you talking about? This is a good Christian server. It's not a Christian server. What's wrong with you? Anyway.
Okay.
Sorry.
So anyway, looking at that contradiction, I was like, wait, is this the best contradiction an atheist could come up with?
No, there's much better ones.
Yeah, I didn't know that at the time. So after that, also, like I said, I was staying Christian at the time. So I guess after that, I became a Christian after that. Again, there's like a year of research, basically. Over a year of research. I read the whole Bible in a year, cover to cover, and a bunch of other books too. I did a lot of reading. I really like to read, Amy.
Reading's good, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but so now I got something a little awkward to mention, because I mentioned in passing before that I quit college for a stupid reason.
Oh no.
And I mentioned that I was going to talk about it. Well, that's why I became a Christian. And I would quit college, and then I would just move in with my boyfriend, and maybe join the cult, my cultic friends. Maybe.
So you left
That
college
just go
for the
well.
cult.
And then I would just preach about Jesus.
Oh, jeez.
So yeah, that's why I quit college. For
You
some
run around
reason.
and preach.
So yeah, that's
Well,
why I'm not in college anymore.
but you got your degree though, don't you?
Nope. Because I quit
You gotta
college.
go back. So you gotta go back.
Maybe I don't know how that's gonna work.
Well, I think you go in and you apply and you go back.
Mhm.
Isn't that how it usually works?
Okay, so last semester is when I quit. Last semester, because I was because last semester I decided to become a Christian and stuff, and then I was gonna preach Jesus or whatever. I bombed all my classes. Like I got F's and D's in pretty much in almost all of them, except for maybe like one or two. So my GPA went really down and stuff.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you think that might hold you back from being able to successfully rejoin?
I also consider going next semester, but I just haven't decided. I haven't decided yet. So I haven't. I don't know if I'll be able to or not, but we'll see.
Well, what do you need to do in order to get back into it? Improve your GPA, obviously.
Yeah.
Can you do that outside of the college? Like, can you take courses that can help that improve?
Well, to take classes, you have to go to college.
They also have outside of college type stuff. They have like nighttime classes for people that work during the day, and they I don't know, maybe find something that you could use as some form of accreditation.
Well, we'll see. I don't know what's going to happen yet.
Maybe they can put you through a test to see how much you know, and then say, okay, well, based on this test, we'll let you come back.
Yeah.
Is there something like that?
I don't know. I haven't looked at it yet. I don't know yet.
Well, it's kind of depressing. I mean, you're obviously you're good at what you do. I mean, you know your stuff. I think you should continue and get a piece of paper saying you know your stuff.
Yeah, if I were to go back, it would still be like another semester or two before I can get my degree, I think.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Okay, so back to the conversion story.
Right. Sorry, we always do that. We sidetrack.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, so I was still my Christian boyfriend, and I was still friends with Tara and her group. So when I told Tara that I was going to become a Christian, and then I also told her that I was looking into getting baptized also. And she had.
They wanted to baptize you?
No, I said I wanted to be baptized.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They somehow convinced you that you wanted to be baptized.
No, well, no, I convinced myself.
Oh, okay.
I want.
I have a squirt bottle if you want. I can.
That doesn't work. It's supposed to be full body.
I know. Well, I'll start at the top and work my way down.
Okay.
Anyway, I keep the cats from climbing up the curtains. Anyways, get off there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, so at the time, Tara was actually out of the country, actually preaching in somewhere in Europe. She was in Europe actually preaching about God.
Yeah.
And Jerry was still in America, but he was somewhere else, like Tennessee or something, I think. Anyway, so they both weren't in Oklahoma to like baptize me. But they had these. They did have a couple in Oklahoma though, named Ben and Tara. And then I did believe that only a male should be able to baptize you. I think they have weird beliefs. Anyway, so I talked to. I had dinner with Ben and Tara a couple times and stuff, talking about baptism and stuff.
Yeah.
And then they started talking to me about some weird things. I didn't realize it until now, and until then. Like I remember Tara telling me that like if I were to get married, then the man is supposed to be the head of the household, or the man is supposed to be the leader. Is what she said actually. The man is supposed to be the leader. I was like, wait, what do you mean by that? And she said she wasn't able. She wasn't sure how to describe it. So I'm still not sure what she means by the leader. So.
Well, biblically, men are leaders, right? Women are not allowed to be.
Yeah. So anyway, that kind of bothered me a little bit. I was like, wait, what? What are you talking about? And so then, and then I was dating a guy, and I think we were thinking about getting married. And so
you were?
No, me and the other guy, we were thinking about getting married. Yeah.
Obviously, you never did, right?
Yeah. Well, a little bit. I'm not gonna give too much details about it. I don't want to give too much details about that relationship.
That's okay. That's okay.
Anyway.
Just tell the relevant parts that tie in.
Yeah. The deconversion story. Okay. So we're thinking about getting married and stuff, and okay. I'm trying to state how much of my personal story I should tell.
It's entirely up to you. You can only you divulge whatever you're comfortable divulging.
Okay.
But you do realize that you are among friends here.
Okay.
They're not going to judge this kind of shit against you. So.
Yeah. Okay. Amy. So again, they told me some really weird stuff. And then they said they didn't want me. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. They said they didn't want to baptize me until I mean, it's like they didn't want to baptize me until I meet certain requirements. Like they want me to wear a dress. And then they actually didn't want me to date the guy I was with. Okay, I guess I'm gonna mention some personal stuff. He wasn't. He just wasn't very good, I guess.
Okay.
Not nice.
I'm assuming some level of abusive.
Okay, I guess I got to mention he was kind of emotionally abusive.
Okay, which is not cool.
Yeah, he was emotionally abusive.
I'm sorry you had to deal with that shit.
Yeah.
And be lucky that I don't live anywhere near him, because I'd probably kick his ass.
I think he's realized. I think he realized after I broke up with him that he did some really wrong things.
Good. Hopefully he stops.
And he still calls me and I talk to him every now and then. But it's been good lately. After I broke up with him.
And he's still in contact with you. Just be careful.
Okay.
Right.
And that's why I haven't mentioned his name.
Good. That's okay. That's fine. Just you be careful, because I have the money and I'll jump on a fucking plane.
Thank you.
So.
Thank you.
I will turn him into a human fucking pretzel and dip him in chocolate and throw him on a fucking a hill full of fire ants and let them have their way with him.
Okay.
Want to talk about hell?
Okay, Amy, but I think he's realized, but I think he's gotten better though, Amy. So okay, so back to the conversion story. So obviously they didn't want me to be with him, and to be honest, they weren't wrong that he wasn't very good.
Right.
So I didn't break up with him because of religion, even though he was still a Christian, and I eventually became an atheist. So still, they said some weird things like the man should be the leader and stuff, and I was like, wait, I don't know what you're talking about. And I think it kind of pushed me back. Like, I mean, I'm really confused now. And then I started more research. And that's when I realized there was a lot more contradictions in the Bible than I thought there were. Like
I read Seth Andrews' No Sacred Cows, and he mentions that there's something like over over 200 of them or something that he's found, anyways. So
yeah, like a Isaiah 7, the thing in Isaiah about the virgin birds.
mm-hmm.
When you look at the Old Testament, I think it's clearly talking about Ahaz and has something to do with Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to be a sign for Ahaz, so they were a little late.
Well, what do you expect for a bunch of shit that's been made up anyway? So
Yeah.
you're gonna find conflict somewhere.
Yeah. And about the abiologist thing, we'll probably figure it out in less than 100 years, I think.
Probably.
Yeah. So good. And then I guess I'm back to atheism now.
Well, good for you.
Oh, wait, I forgot to mention something. You know how I said I mentioned before that I'm really interested in Druidism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Somewhere in between this year, my year of research about the Bible and stuff, I actually started reading about Druidism too.
Buddhism's pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah.
And if you got to pick, there are belief systems out there that, although they carry some woo, and woo could eventually lead to some form of harm, most of them, like Druidism or Jainism, are fairly benign, and they're mostly natural based, right? And I don't see anything wrong with being naturalistic, because people in that mind frame often look out for the betterment of our world. So those are the kinds of belief systems that I have far less of a problem with than these Abrahamic ones and some of the other ones that carry some pretty far out wooey kind of shit that could actually hurt people. So Druidism's pretty neat, which is why I still don't have a problem. I was a pagan myself for a while, right? So I don't have a lot of issues with the paganistic type belief systems, and many of my friends are, like Ocean, and Ansgar, right? So I mean, and they're great people, and I have good times when I chat with them, and right. So I mean, I even know actual Abrahamic religious people that I'm good friends with, and I talk to. We just leave the nonsense out of the conversation for the most part. One of my friends is a devout Christian, but she's a fantastic artist. Actually, give me one quick second here. I'll show you something that she threw together that's right up your alley. It's more about arachnids, but it's still. Cool. Hang on one second here. Give me a quick second. Sure. My new headphones, the cord isn't quite as long, so. Let's see if I can find it here somewhere. Oh, shit. Crap. Oh, man, I guess I've moved them somewhere. Anyway, she painted a couple of paintings of black widows.
Okay.
Which are really cool, and it's basically the spiders in the center, and there's like leaf litter around it, which is pretty. Yeah. I said, well, that's not entirely accurate. They're kind of like dark, hidden places, but it's very nice. Unfortunately, I'll look for them and I'll show them in one of the after parties someday. Sure. She's a very talented artist. Her name's Tina, and she actually did a painting for us because she was inspired by one of the songs I wrote called Dollhouse. And it's a painting of a girl in a darkened room, and there's a shadow figure at the door, and she's got the thing in her mouth where she's about to inject drugs into her arm, which is sort of some of the premise of the song that I wrote. So, yeah, she's very gifted, but she's very Jesus-y. So we try to leave that stuff out of the conversation for the most part. But she jumps on me on Facebook when I bring it up sometimes, so I have to kind of battle with her a bit. But we still understand each other, so that's fine. Yeah. You can have relationships with religious people, it's obvious, but just try to leave the stuff that's going to make you yell at each other out of the conversation. Anyway, I'll look for it before we do the after party, because I'm pretty sure it's over there somewhere. Okay, there's two, and I bought them off her for $50 a pop. So, because she's a talented girl. Anyway.
Well, I think that's the end of my conversion story. I went back to atheism where I saw the contradictions and stuff.
You what? Oh, the contradiction.
Yeah, I became an atheist again. So I guess that's the end of my conversion story.
Is there anything else you want to talk about before we call this quits and start up an after party? Or?
My dog is in a crate right now. I probably should get to. So I don't know. We could go ahead and end it here if you want.
Sure, do that.
Story. I had to get into the living room with the dog.
No problem. Well, thank you very much for sitting with me for the hour.
Welcome.
I know we started a little late. Sorry about that, guys. That was my fault. I was downstairs at my buddy Mikey's place and having a cigarette and first half of my first beer. So and then I kind of looked at my clock on my phone and was like, "Oh shit! It's like 3 minutes to. I better run upstairs." Like, oh crap. But anyway, yeah. Thanks, Adrianna, for joining me.
Okay.
And I tell you, when we found each other, whatever, we ran into each other on Twitter and stuff. I'm very glad we did because it's I always like having people in the sciences in our corner. So.
Yeah.
Because we can bring up stuff and myself being.
I like talking about insects.
Yeah, I know, and she always makes fun of us for bringing us. Why you guys always ask me bug questions all the time? Oh, sorry, insect questions. She hates.
I like insect questions.
Okay, she likes them so much that she tortures them in that little box behind her. Someone is asking where Insect Lover is from.
Oh, I'm from I'm from Oklahoma.
Believe we went through that. Yes,
PVA.
You already know we're having a after party, and I have to have one now because you asked me if you could bring your friend in. Anyway, okay, I'm going to assume that your friend is Yvette Spaghetti.
Okay.
Anyway, all right. So thanks everyone for tuning in and hanging out with me and Adrianna and talking about her pathway away from beliefs. Well, fallacious beliefs, what I call them. And we will get into an after party in probably a little under 10 minutes or so. I usually like to have my little bit of a break between them and go have my cigarette and crack another beer and we'll get into it. And I believe today Bible Belt Atheist is going to be jumping in and he's bringing with him someone that is, as he put it, on the fence. So maybe we can knock this person off to the right side of that fence. Finally, I know that doesn't happen overnight, at least not for 99% of the people I've ever spoken to about this. But it can. I mean, took me a while. I went through a weird path, as you guys know. You heard my story a couple weeks ago. But it can happen. But anyways, Adrianna, thanks again. I really enjoyed this, and let's get into an after party in a few minutes, and we'll talk some bug stuff. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, remember what I always say at the end of these: it's called faith because it's not knowledge. And we'll see you guys next time.